In my previous video about skills, guys, we were talking about common skills. I explained to you what they actually do, and of course I revealed hidden stats of the skills. For example, enhanced combo increase your combo damage on 25 or 40%. So in this video, guys, we'll continue talking about skills, but this time not about common, we'll talk about legendary skills. About Smelly, there's actually not much to talk, all your daggers will become smelly. It literally gives plus 150 or 200% damage to all daggers, so the damage will be way higher, but I don't recommend you to choose it because all daggers will have no effects. For example, Rage Dagger is extremely helpful. With Dagger Proficiency, be careful, especially when your main problem is to survive, because you'll be taking more damage on 10 or 15%. The next skill can be extremely useful, and at the same time it can be useless. What's cool, it increases Dagger's damage, what's not cool, within the same round. So if you for example release 3 daggers in one round, the first one is doing 100% damage, the second one 110, and the last one, the third one, 120. The next round they will do the same damage, 100, 110 and 120. It means that to make it any good, you need to release more daggers in the same round. Dagger Cooldown will definitely help you, especially if you're using Dagger build, by the way it cannot be evolved. Combo Proficiency is another skill I highly recommend you to choose because during combos it increases your attack by 10 or 15%, and it also increases your combo rate from what I tested on around 10%. For Counter Proficiency, unfortunately I could not find numbers, it's almost impossible to check. Anyway, I highly recommend you to choose it because in some of my tests the healing was crazy. The next skill I also highly recommend you to choose because it will increase your crit rate and crit damage, and it's stackable. Remind you that critical damage does in 2 times higher damage of your basic attack. The Rage Proficiency is better not to choose because it can lower your rage damage. It can go below 100%, I believe that the cap is 50%. The next skill is always good to choose if you can poison enemies, so enemies will be taking on 30 or 45% more damage. Frozen Touch of course I recommend you to choose because besides taking icy spikes you also can insta-kill weak enemies. With Burning Proficiency be careful guys because you'll be taking more damage on 10 or 15%. The next skill is okay, I would say choose it more situationally. Magic Flames I don't recommend you to choose because fire strikes usually cast burning, plus there is a limit of stacks unless you have Pyromancer skill. The next skill will definitely help you to beat the hardest chapters because it reduces enemies' rage by 50. Thunderstorm is good to choose when you have few lightnings, I would say at least 3. And again we have a skill that may not be good for you because you'll be seeing more damage on 10 or 15%. And the same situation with multiple lightning. Choose it if you don't have much problems with surviving. Recovery Sword better not to choose because it restores a small amount of health, 3 or 5%. Shrink spell can help you a lot guys, especially if you just start playing. What it does, it reduces enemies damage by 35%. Don't choose it only if you're close to damage reduction cap. The next skill is better to have evolved because not evolved skill will reduce your basic attack damage. Yes, sometimes you may not be lucky to evolve it, but as for me, it's worth to choose it. Berserker is a tricky skill because it increases your basic attack damage, but in the same time it reduces your skill and rage damage. Note guys that there is no effect to poison and burning damage. The opposite skill to Berserker is Spell Master. I highly recommend you to choose it because skill damage to daggers, elemental skills excluding poison and burning, and also rage damage is counted as skill damage. The next skill usually is not recommended to choose because it greatly reduces your health, can take away or 25 or 40%, but if your problem is attack, then choose it. The next skill is always good to choose because it will increase your attack, health and defense by 25 or 15%. Multi-strike, not always good but usually is okay to choose. Critical dodge, I highly recommend you to choose because it can literally save you a life. I mean in game. And the same I can say about the critical shield. It will definitely help you with hard chapters. The next skill I personally do not find any useful, but some players say it is. The reason why I think it is not because we don't have many hit skills. Huge health, of course good to choose because it will give you plus 25% to health. But I think it is bugged right now because huge attack gives plus 30%. And the same increase has huge defense. Okay guys, now you know a little more about skills, I hope this video will help you. In my last video about skills we'll talk about mythic skills. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe my channel, and it would be great if you will like this video, because it helps me to make better content for you.